Hey there! So today I'm going to show you what our morning basket looks like. I'm a mother of two. My daughter is 3 years old and my son is 1. We do this little morning basket routine which lasts into the afternoon, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we get into detail in it. I do want to say a little disclaimer. I am LDS, so a lot of the materials and things that I'm teaching have to do with the LDS faith. So here's what our basket looks like. It's not very full, like I said, because my kids are quite young, and so we don't do as many things as maybe some other families would. I would say in total, it probably lasts 20 minutes to half an hour, and it is not all at once. So I do it breakfast time pretty much always, lunchtime, and if they're like painting or sitting at some point, then I try to sort of throw some more things in. Also, if I can try to eat before breakfast and lunchtime, like before my kids are eating breakfast and lunch, then I do that so that I can just be reading and doing this with them. So the first thing I do, I sort of switch it up a little. The thing we do most often, I'll start, is we read out of this Friend magazine. So again, this is something that the LDS Church produces. It's really neat. It's got 2 different sections. So you've got the Friend Junior and just the regular Friend. My kids, obviously, we focus on the Friend Junior because my friends and my children are a lot younger. So it just has little cute things. It teaches good morals, basically little cute stories, little messages from apostles, and see those, like this one's about a puppy. So I can get my little 1-year-old engaged. I'll say, oh, look at the puppy, read the story, whatever. Where's the puppy? Whatever. And then it always has some kind of scripture story, which is nice. And we just do one little thing, and I'll just talk about the picture or read the story or whatever. So we'll do one little section from that. And then the next thing we do, or sometimes we do this first, I just kind of gauge it on how my kids are that day. Like if I start doing this or the picture book and I can tell they're just not into it, I have to get up 100 times because my son's fussing, whatever it might be, then I'll just stop and we'll do it later, or I'll switch gears. So that's how I sort of switch from thing to thing. I kind of feel them out. If they're really interested in what we're doing, then I keep doing it a little longer, and if they're kind of fading, then I'll try something else before I will just kind of stop and do it later. So we use, it's this gospel art book, and again, we're just going through Old Testament prophets, so you could even do that if you were just a Christian, not of the LDS faith, but it's this gospel art book, and what we're doing is going through it, and I'm helping her identify the different pictures in it. So with my son, 1-year-old, he can say the word Jesus, so I say, oh, who's this, and he says, Jesus, Jesus, and gets very excited, and just a little way for him to participate. And then we go through the different pictures. Oh, this is the world, excuse the ripped book, my son got a hold of it and ripped it, but anyway, so they're really familiar with some of them already. They're really familiar with Adam. And what we're doing is I'll go through the prophets, and there's this song called Follow the Prophet, and it's got, I don't know, maybe 8 different verses, each one a different prophet. And so I'll sing them the song, and I'll say, so we'll go through, oh, Adam is a prophet, this is his wife Eve. I'll start singing. I'll do a little clip of it for you. You'll have to excuse my singing. But anyway, and so we'll go through and do the different prophets. So then we are working on memorization. So sorry, this is again a little banged up, but I do a little chart. Again, I'm just about to do a new one. Do this little picture thing to help her with memorization. I've noticed that she's sort of lost motivation a little bit in it, so that tells me 1, that I need to change it, and 2, I sort of just do little tricks with her. Like I'll say, okay, Tobias, who's my son, we're going to do this first, and so I'll say the whole thing, Mary Heart, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll say, okay, Alice, your turn. Or she'll usually say when I'm doing it with Tobias, she'll say, my turn, I'll do it kind of thing. And so then she listens, and then she can kind of remember. Usually when we are doing our picture book, if we're talking about a prophet, or even in this Friend magazine, whenever they're particularly interested in something, like say they're interested in the puppy or Abraham, then I'll say, okay, do you know what Abraham starts with? A. A makes the ah sound. Let's say it together. Abraham. Airplane. And we go through. I really like this Caillou book we got from the library. My kid really likes Caillou, firstly, but I really like that the pages are like this laminated material. She does pay attention to this one when I pull it out. And I only do 1 or 2 letters. I try to relate it to what we've done. And we go through the sound. She really likes to learn the sound lately, so the phonics. And like I said, I'll say, and then if we're doing something later in the day, like we're coloring or we're in the bath and she has little bath crayons, anything we're doing where she can write, we're in the sand, whatever, then I'll review the letter. I'll say, oh, can you remember how to do the letter A? And I'll show her how to write it, and I'll try to get her to write it. And she's a little more hesitant with that because she's not immediately good at it. She's still working. She's young. She's still working on her pencil grip, things like that. And so she is a little more hesitant, but when I can get her to do it, it's really good, and she seems to really remember it. Like, she's got A and H and T, and everything she makes T's with. She makes T for Tobias. She's really excited, and she seems to really retain that. So I try to incorporate that, the letter we do, into the rest of the day with what we're just doing. And so we do also, I really try to do a read aloud with her. Right now we're reading Moana. She really likes Moana. We're reading the Deluxe Junior novelization. And I like it because it's like, we've seen the movie so many times, and I like reading it like the characters and stuff, and to try to get her engaged. And she is surprised. Like, first she looked at it and she said, there's no pictures. It's just words or something. And I said, yeah, it's just words. You have to think of the pictures in your mind. And so we've been reading it, and I'm surprised at like how much she is listening. Like, she'll say, oh, that's talking about Maui or something. Oh, that's Maui. And I'll be like, yes, it is. That's who we're talking about. Like, it's good. Sometimes I'm reading this. I was trying to sort of read it when they were playing or whatever, because that's what I had seen on other people's stuff, and that doesn't seem to work for us. They don't pay any attention. So I wait for a moment when I can tell. Again, the meal times really work. So I try to I did it today at lunchtime, and I did it just after they were finished lunch, and she stayed at the table, and I read, I think it was like 4 pages or something, and she was into it. And he just my 1-year-old just kind of putters around. He doesn't pay attention, obviously, but so I'd like to do more of that, more reading aloud, and find sort of times to do that. And so another thing we do every day lately, Grandma bought us these wonderful books. These are the Melissa and Doug Paint with Water. My daughter asks to paint every day. And I say, most of the time I say no, I'm not going to lie, because it's so messy, it's so annoying. The baby tries to do it, he eats the paint, I have to be right there for a while because she will just paint and paint and paint, and it's annoying. So anyway, so Grandma bought these for us, and she does it every day, and it's wonderful. She will sit at the table for like half an hour. He will do them. I'll show you the pictures in the hallway when I show you like the morning routine, little clips of them, hopefully. But yeah, this is great. So obviously, I'm sure you can tell by the picture, but I'll just show you. Is the paints are at the top. They just mix water and they just do it. I can't believe I hadn't thought of this before. And the pictures are really cute. So this one's for my son, and then we do this one for my daughter. So just vehicles. My daughter actually really likes the vehicles too. But yeah, we do this every day. It's awesome. Another thing often, I'll be honest, I do this to try to get something done. Okay, let's paint. I'll do the dishes, so they don't hound me for a minute or something. But yeah, I'm going to try to maybe do painting and reading aloud. I'm going to start trying that. So that's it. That's all I do for the morning basket. I want to try to incorporate a few more things into it. I want to try to find a way to do some poetry, to incorporate some poetry. I have this great Mother Goose Rhymes, book of Mother Goose Rhymes, and it's old, and it's the Mother Goose Nursery Rhymes, and I really would love them to just hear some poetry, and I think the rhymes are really cute. We did the Rain Rain Go Away one a couple months ago, and she had been just like repeating it and stuff when we were out, and so it went well. But I struggle with getting her to like pay attention, and again, a lot of this is my own like issues. I have to stop worrying about them paying attention and just do it and hope that it's getting in there and not stressing about it, especially because this is supposed to be a fun, relaxed thing, and I get a little too serious about it, I guess, too schooly about it. Sometimes I want them to really pay attention, but they're so young and they're doing a great job so far, and anyway, it's really going well. So I wanted to incorporate some poetry. So let me know maybe in the comments below if you guys are doing poetry, whether in your morning basket or your homeschool curriculum, and you have little ones that you're doing it with. Let me know if you have any like tips for me on how to maybe incorporate that. Also, if you've seen anything that I've shown you today that you think, oh, I have, you know, a better way that maybe you could do that or whatever, any sort of tips I appreciate. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you know, I don't know why I always do this when I'm talking about the bell. Hit the bell so that you can be notified when I do videos in the future. And thank you so much. Bye guys.